by the 1,168 Youth Corps members, which was administered by Justice Abdullahi Ali, who represented the State Chief Judge. Nasarawa State Coordinator, NYSC, Abdullahi Jinkamshi, who doubled as representative of the state governor, as well as the Director General of the scheme, commended the Youth Corps members' patriotic nature and advised them to participate in camp activities during their 3 weeks orientation course. He reminded them of limited availability of white-collar jobs and encouraged them to take advantage of the skills and entrepreneurship development scheme provided at the camp for them to be self-reliant.
It is also a platform for kickstarting various activities that will enable you to realize your potential and attain individual feats both during and after the service.
The Youth Corps members who were in high spirit promised to abide by the rules and regulations of the scheme.
I will try my possible best to contribute my quota in order to ensure that the progress of the country is being achieved.
I intend to serve my fatherland the way it's supposed to be.
Of good and of benefit to myself and my family and society as well.
I plan to use this opportunity to serve my country diligently and selflessly.
From Magajidenya Musa Permanent Orientation Camp Kefi, Christy Ayagwa, NTA News.
And in the same vein, true to his words, ensuring the baton of leadership passed on to him maintained continuity with high level of discipline, ethical conduct, and professionalism, the Director General of the National Youth Service Scheme, Mohammed Fada, sworn in core members of the Batch B Stream 1. Rosemary Bilal has details.
The swearing-in of the Batch B Stream 2 Corps members was conducted at Kuba Orientation Camp, where Justice Semira Umar Bature of the FCTI Court presided over the oath-taking. Unlike when activities held in open space, this swearing-in exercise held indoor due to showers of rain, forcing everyone to take cover.
As a Nigerian, before anything else,
be proud of the fatherland.
Be proud of the fatherland.
Have a healthy attitude to work.
Have a healthy attitude to work.
The Director General, NYSC, Mohammed Fada, who recently took up the mantle of leadership, congratulated the Corps members for successfully completing their degree program and presenting themselves for national service.
The orientation course is the first cardinal program of NYSC, which is aimed at introducing you to the objectives and programs of the scheme. I therefore enjoin you to utilize this one-in-a-lifetime opportunity by participating in all the camp's activities.
Corps members were also told to read and familiarize themselves with the content of both the NYSC Act and bylaws and to comply with the rules and regulations of Orientation Camp. Rosemary Mortelen Bilal, NTA News.
And in justifying the saying that youth's votes count, FCT, INEC and partners have commenced a massive registration exercise for residents, which will be rounded up with a mega concert on 26th of June. Aisha Uba Ali reports that 5-day exercise happening at the Old Parade Ground, Area 10, is simultaneously holding across the 36 states of the Federation.
That was what it looked like at the INEC office last week, with the upsurge and clamor for registration. But with the 5-day exercise, all attention is now at the Old Parade Ground, where more than 50 machines have been made available to attend to PVC issues.
You know, it is because of the sensitization, you know, and the awareness now being created more, so and people are becoming, you know, very conscious to go and deliver their own responsibility. That is why it is that. Otherwise, we are following this in sequentially.
Our contribution to this is providing them that platform and that opportunity to get on the register. And in Lagos, like Laulu mentioned, we had lots of young people who showed up. In fact, in Lagos alone, for the few days that registration held, over 11,000 people were added on the voters register for Lagos. We hope that also in Abuja, there will be more than that because of the sort. So we are very excited to see young people show up to register. On Saturday, there will be a concert, and headlining this concert are celebrities who are committed to the democratic project.
On the speculation of extension, the resident electoral commissioner emphasized that it is a policy decision which can only be decided by the National Commission as the FCT Commission works with directives. It was also an opportunity for INEC to call on eligible voters to collect their PVCs instead of leaving them at the commission after a rigorous exercise. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
And now to security matters. The Assistant Commissioner of Police, Criminal Investigation Intelligence Department, FCT Command, Chike Nwabua, has reiterated the need for residents to maintain vigilance and report any case of suspected crime and criminality in the nation's capital. Asibe Williams reports that he stated this on the regular security check program on the Unity station called The Police.
Crime has become very sophisticated that some criminals make use of very latest technology to handle this. The Nigerian Police Force has developed equally sophisticated methods of crime detection and prevention, according to the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Chika Nwabua.
We have always amplified this angle. Parental care. You need to stay at home to impact on your children. Issue of morals. A child smoking in their home. A child showing some abnormal behavior in the house. You see, these are things that eventually impact negatively on security effort.
He further states that legislation has also been updated to allow the police gather evidence on criminal activities carried out via the internet. For example, information is the key word in crime detection, and this information must be accurate and easily available.
Community policing. Intelligence gathering is uppermost, I would say, in crime prevention and detection. But you can see that people do not come to the police easily. I don't want to say that they don't trust the police. For whatever reasons, we know that people do not ordinarily come to volunteer information to the police. And this is something all of us are supposed to be doing so as to assist the police to do the work.
He advised residents to remain security conscious and should not hesitate to call the police if they had noticed any abnormality in their area. In Abuja, Asibe Williams, NTA News.
And now let's talk health. Experts say about 40% of patients who go for kidney transplant came as a result of uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, and uncontrolled anti-HIV medication will lead to eventual damaging of the kidney. Statistics indicate that more than 16.8% of Nigerians suffer from kidney failures as a result of negative lifestyle and lack of medical checkup. Serafina Okon-Umweki has details.
The kidney is one of the most vital organs, and without it, no one can survive, as it plays a crucial role in removal of waste products and excretion of other hormones.
Without the kidneys producing some hormones like erythropoietin, our bloods cannot form. And so that's why when you have patients who have chronic kidney disease, they are always looking pale because the kidney is not there to produce the hormone that helps in the blood formation of red blood cells.
You also have exacerbated inflammation. Then you have compromisation of the immune system. Then you have what you call dysregulated bioenergetics. That is to say that the ability of the cell to actually produce energy is actually reduced. Thus, a normal cell from one glucose molecule will produce 32 ATP molecules. ATPs, this is the energy currency. A cancer cell will take one glucose molecule and produce only 2 ATPs.
However, medical experts say kidney failure is on the increase, as about 45% of adults between ages 40 to 55 years are at risk of having kidney cancer. He further advised people to observe their urine for blood spots, having general weaknesses and extreme body body pains are signs of kidney disease, and in most cases, 80% of kidneys pack up without any sign.
Vital lessons is that we should check our kidneys once in a while by doing kidney function tests.
Apart from chemotherapy, apart from radiotherapy and even surgery, people should be made to know that there are alternative ways of managing cancer.
The toxicologist John Tor says excessive toxins and inability of the blood cells to function properly leads to damaging of the DNA, which collapses active cells and brings about cancer manifestation. Latest statistics says 26 million Nigerians have kidney failures, while 400,000 need dialysis yearly and 20,000 go on dialysis daily. These alarming figures cause for sober reflection on lifestyles. In Abuja, Serafina Okon Umekwe, NT News.
And from health to other matters, but that will be after this break. Stay with us. The News at 1 continues in just a moment.
The immediate cause of the latest queues in Abuja remains unknown.
Conceived with the intent to ease the flow of traffic in the nation's capital.
Whichever way it turns out, either to consolidate on the existing mandate or institute a new dispensation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, how much do people know about ADR?
Are charting a path to having more youth participate in governance, in addition to building young entrepreneurs.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are calling on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, look into the situation.
You have to strike a balance to have a future that you don't have to regret.
Like experts say, what kills really is fear.
In Abuja, Onoziaku, NTE News.
As Nigeria prepares for the 2023 general election, the quest for good governance and quality political leadership remains a crux of discussions by many who believe this is critical to development. Asabe Tanim Williams in this special report looks at the role good governance plays in leadership.
Good governance manifesting in areas of rule of law, transparency, accountability, citizens' participation, among others, are prerequisites for the national peace and development.
The leaders are supposed to be leading us to the promised land, or to what you call an utopia, a place where everybody is happy and comfortable. And leaders have sworn to an oath that they will do everything in their capacity to lead the people there. What you find with leaders today is that they seem to be more interested in sorting themselves out, sorting their families out, and making sure that if they leave office, they and their families will never live in any lack or want again. The followers, on the other hand, are supposed to ensure that the leaders are going in the direction they promised. And when they find the leaders are not, the followers should be able to call their attention to it, direct or make a cry out and say, leaders, this is not what you're doing. But sadly, the followers are also happy to be misled sometimes and throw up their arms and say, there's nothing we can do about it.
If leadership is defective, it's going to tell on governance, you know. At the heart of good governance, is good leadership, which will presuppose that you are in touch with the people, you know their expectations, and that is why politicians go to the people and campaign. That's why they have manifestos. And then you will expect now that when they get into power, they will be true to themselves, they will be realistic, they will totally commit to ensuring that life gets better for the people.
In totality, good governance is the ability of any government to do those things that the people desire or requires or deserves. Deserves, especially if you, during your campaign, you make promises. You tell the people that I will do this, I'll build that. And so when you are in office and elected eventually by them, you have an obligation to do those things. It's as simple as that.
However, lack of effective leadership has not only hindered the nation's rapid development, but continues to threaten peaceful coexistence. Hence, it has become imperative for the people to ensure that right leaders emerge in elections.
Election is the time that followers should decide who leads them. Election is the time that followers should ensure that they put good leaders in place. How can they do it? I have discovered that a lot of us don't even help ourselves, and that is where there's a failure of followers, because followers should ensure, one, that they go and vote.
In the years preceding 1999, you cannot ask a politician, you cannot go to anybody and say, I want to pay for your votes. You dare not. But today, what do you get? And it's all over the country.
Vote buying.
Vote buying, Now people gleefully and gladly tell people that, a little first for me, how much are you going to pay for my vote? So if I pay for your vote, how can I respect you? I already paid. And if I paid, that's the end of it.
This is the time that you're going to see a lot of political gladiators coming out and giving them peanuts in the name of sharing money, or they share wrappers, they share rice. That's not what you need. That's not what we need. After 22 years of experimenting with democracy, we would have come to the point where the average Nigerian should be demanding for a better life.
Analysts agree that good governance, leadership, and national development are intertwined. To understand the nation's development, they say, one has to simply take a closer look at the level of good governance at play and the leadership driving it. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
And now to infrastructure. There are many unoccupied houses, housing estates and buildings in the Federal Capital Territory, yet citizens lack accommodation. The housing units, which are pegged beyond the reach of many, are either being illegally occupied by squatters or rotting away, while many Nigerians continue to groan under excruciating accommodation issues. Aisha Bashir in this report takes a look at unoccupied building estates which dot the entire landscape of the FCT.
When it comes to residential accommodation, the Federal Capital Territory presents a bundle of contradictions. Tens of sprawling residential housing estates adorn the various emerging districts and landscapes within the city and its environs. Some of these housing estates, which have been in existence for more than a decade, are being joined by new ones that have been sprouting in different locations year in, year out. However, more than 80% of the houses in these estates are vacant.
There are certain things they were expected to take as their own obligation under the arrangement, and that is to develop the internal infrastructure, which we call secondary and tertiary. And then FCTA or the FCT administration on its own will extend the primary services.
The FCT itself is a master plan where they want all the infrastructural things to be there. Then the cost of putting all those things together in a normal district setting in Abuja is already making the cost of the land itself to be expensive.
And having been exposed to the wear and tear of the seasons, a good number of the housing units have witnessed encroachment from the elements.
Is to set a regulatory body that should look into it to know who and who that bought the house, if it's really for the house.
The bureaus hide the prices. We whoever cannot live in town, you can see I'm coming all the way from Maraba to town. To get here now, I've spent almost 300.
In contrast to the numerous houses lying across the city center and its outskirts, many residents, particularly those in the low and medium income brackets, are left to find accommodation where the rates are affordable. Aisha Bashir, NTA News.
And on sports, the football team of NTA Channel 5 Abuja has keyed into a series of activities to celebrate the man of the moment, Ayo Adewi, the general manager of the station, as he bows out of service. Gideon Yohana witnessed a novelty match as Zone 3 Abuja brings us sight and sound of the game.
And off it goes! Beautiful!
The novelty match between NTA Channel 5 Abuja team and Raw Materials of Research and Development Council was played on a 5-a-side pitch fielding 12 players, where the visiting side won by a lone goal. No doubt the players and spectators had a good time as they felicitate with the celebrant, rendering encomiums of praise and emotions on a man described as an epitome of humility and professionalism.
We lost, but we won. I wish him good luck and good success, and we are very happy for our team.
He deserves nothing but the best that we can put together, and that's why I marched out my team, and I said, okay, let us come together and just have a game in honor of this great man.
I know he likes football, and all of us in Channel 5 we love football. So this is one thing that he will live to remember, even if he leaves us eventually.
Today, we came all out to say thank you, sir, for all the tutelage. Thank you, sir, for the mentorship. Thank you, sir, for all that he has given to a system that today we are all beneficiaries of.
The celebrant, in the person of the general manager, NTA Channel 5 Abuja, Ayo Adewi, expressed delight in the gesture, appreciating all present.
I can't remember this having been done to anybody, so I'm greatly happy. I am so happy. I appreciate everybody, the Raw Materials team, the NTA Channel 5 Rotawu team, and everybody that is here. I so much thank you. I'm grateful.
Other activities are also in line towards making the retirement worth the while. In Abuja, Gideon Yohana, NTA News.
Indeed, sir, it's done to you because you're special. I will say congratulations. Moving on is still talking sports. Nigerian Golden Eaglets beat Cote d'Ivoire 3-1, qualifies for Africa Under-17 Nations Cup as federal government gives directives to Nigerian Football Federation to immediately commence election process. Let's join Benedicta Inya for details of these and more on Sports Brief.
The federal government have directed the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) to immediately commence the process that will lead to holding new elections into its executive committee. This directive was contained in the letter dated 17 June 2022, addressed to Amaju Pinnick, the president of the NFF, and signed by the country's sports minister, Sunday Dare. Meanwhile, the former Secretary General of the Nigeria Football Association (NFA), as Alhaji Sani Ahmed Tori, has been released. It was said that Alhaji Sani was released after negotiation with the adopters following a reduction of the ransom price. In athletics, United States-based javelin thrower Chinechere Nnamdi is sure of grabbing a ticket to fly Nigeria's flag high at the World Athletics Championship in Oregon on 15 July and the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England on 28 July, despite what he considered a high standard set by the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. The bronze medalist Nnamdi arrived Lagos alongside other athletes in preparation for the championship and hopes for a meaningful impact. With Sport Brief, Benedicta Inya, NTA News.
And that's it on the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. We thank you for sharing your time with us. More news at 7. Bye for now.